We're in December. Welcome back if you're tuning in, and welcome in if you are new in here. This is Celeste. Today we're going to be talking about tuning out the noise. And I don't mean about other people's opinions. I don't mean what other people say, whether it's good or bad, but the importance of tuning in and into ourselves and really getting real with, people talk about imposter syndrome, but what if you feel that you're too late for the game? What if you've been trying and doing the work and you're not getting the results that you are seeing? And the importance of tuning out the, all the overthinking and how to really discern from it from the inside when it's coming from within ourselves. I wanted to do this episode. It is based on a talk I did this past weekend at an event, at a local event here in my hometown. And I happened to be nervous for that event because I haven't had the best experiences when it comes to like local networking and things. I started in the beginning and it wasn't so good. I didn't know the whole word of boundaries correct. So that was on me, not other people. And now that I am at a different level, I decided years later to do it again. And based on the response on that, I really wanted to talk on the importance of quieting down our minds, right? What happens when you are putting out the content, when you are doing the work, when you're working hard in your business and outside of it, doing the social thing, doing the in the business thing, and you're not growing or you're not seeing the results that you know you're capable of. You know you're doing the work, you're getting down in the dirt, and the results are not coming fast enough. Today's episode, we're going to be diving into the top 3 things, but most importantly, the importance of really tuning into ourselves and how believing in our own selves before seeing the results is truly the key to being successful in whatever you choose to do, and the importance of having your own meaning of success. And I'm sharing real life stories of my own personal journey. I know sometimes, like even for me, because I see it in the DMs and I talk to you, that, you may think like, oh, well, now everything's growing and glowing for you. But I think we forget the journey getting up here. And it's so important. So with that, let's get to it. I hope you get something really helpful from here. And what's not helpful, let it go. So with that, we all suffer from different things, okay? So like with anxiety, for me, it's more like overthinking, okay? So that's what we're going to call it, overthinking, and that I'm not doing enough, believe it or not. So I've had to really learn how to tap more into myself and inwards and not give, like, it's so easy for me to not care what people think or say or judge, like whatever, oh, you don't put yourself out there, you're always hiding locally. That's fine. That can be a perspective of it. I know that I'm busy doing my own thing and watering my grass, correct? But I don't need to explain that to people. I don't need to go into that depth. What the hardest thing has been with me, and I want to listen to you too, and I would love to hear from you in my DMs on this episode at Celeste the Stylist, is what is your inner dialogue? What is your inner voice saying, right? Everybody's always into affirmations and, like in 2023, like your new mood board and your vision boarding and all this stuff and writing and all that shit. Okay, yes, it is important. But what's going on inside of your mind, inside of those thoughts that nobody gets access to except for you? What is truly going on in there is what we're really going to be talking about today. And what to do when you're not seeing the results that you were expecting, and the importance of being persistent and being patient, right? Which may not be the best P word you would want to hear today, but it's so important. I started this journey, and I said it was an Android, but I actually looked at my videos, and I happened to have a video of the phone that I used to record with, and it was actually a Samsung. I don't know if you remember those Samsung with the little buttons that you would push, like kind of corporate ones. So that's what I had. I started recording with the Samsung. I did not have the latest iPhone. I did not have a camera. I did not have no fancy editing equipment. That's how my career started with editing. In the beginning, people made fun of me. How many people have ever made fun of you, or you're like, oh, well, you're all over the place? It's happened to me too. And now we're at a different level, right? It's been now over yeah, it's been over 6 years now that I started this whole journey, and now it's different, right? Now it's like, oh damn, like she's doing things and things are growing. That's what people tell me. Okay, they're like, yeah, I know I used to make fun of you, but now I see you're doing things. I'm like, well, yeah, but so it's easier to tune out other people's noise than it always will be to tune out yourself. So if I had like a word of advice for you, it would be learn how to tune out other people's noise as fast as you can, because the internal dialogue, it's what's going to make you or break you. And that's the reality that nobody fucking tells us. So what happens when you are doing the work and you're not getting the results? Results are not going to come as easy or as fast as everybody else. There has been time where I have been the first on a platform, and you can go viral. That shit doesn't matter. You can be the first on a platform, but if you're not consistent, you're not going to get a consistent growth, correct? And we can get discouraged and we throw it into the ground. We're like, whatever. One of those things was TikTok. I remember when I started TikTok and I was like, no, this is dumb. I don't want to dance. And I let it go. And now, of course, a big platform everybody's using. And that's such a beautiful example, because I also wanted to share that I don't succeed at everything I try. There have been moments where I haven't been persistent that bit me in the ass. That's one of them with the TikTok thing. But I learned from that because I have been consistent on other platforms. I can be honest with you today, and maybe you feel like you're not growing fast enough on Instagram, or you're not growing fast enough on Pinterest. And I have been there too. And what really has helped, which I really hope it helps you when you're listening to your voice, that you're putting out the work and you're not growing as fast as everybody else, or you're not getting the opportunities that you see other people do, is really do like a self-check with how far have you come to this point. We're always so busy like looking what's ahead, but how far are you today? Like from a year ago today, how many more posts are you doing? From a year ago today, forget the freaking post. Even if you're not utilizing social media, how much more clients do you have in your business? From a year ago today, how much more money are you making a month? From a year ago today, how much more happier are you? Those are real tangible goals that we need to start looking more than just our inner talks that, well, I don't have the goals that everybody else has. And it's so important to always realize that just like a Christmas tree, it can be beautiful, full of lights. We never know if it's a real tree or if it's a fake tree, right? I happen to have a fake tree that looks real. And the same thing goes with social media. And if you're putting in the work and you're not getting, maybe you want a brand deal and it's not happening right now. It's so important to be persistent. None of those things, and as part two, nobody tells you, is that shit doesn't happen overnight. Like, it has been building a relationship. It has been over time that it happens. Sometimes you have to knock a door a couple of times. Sometimes you just have to knock at it once. For me, most of the time, I've had to knock at doors a couple of times. It doesn't open at the first try. And I'm sharing that with you today because maybe you are doing the work and you're like, yeah, but Celeste, I try to do it. I'm doing my content, or I'm putting myself out there. I'm letting people my services, about my services, and I'm not growing. And it's about knocking a couple of times. And most importantly, is like, what has worked in the past that you can replicate or redo in a different twist versus what everybody's doing. I did a Pinterest update for all the things going on for my students inside of my Pinterest formula. And I was talking about choosing yourself versus choosing popularity. And I'm actually going to share a little something with you today. That's kind of private, but I'm going to share with you because I think it's kind of a good lesson for you in regards to brand deals and all that stuff. So I had a brand reach out to me. They wanted me to become an ambassador, and it's a huge brand, okay? It's like that. It's in every freaking store type of hair care brand. And it had a little bit of my values were kind of conflicted with it because I know they've had some issues in the past and stuff. And although, it's a great opportunity, it wasn't for me, and I had to turn it down. And this was extremely hard to do because there is the ego part, right? Of, where I'm a human too. Like, I'm not fucking perfect. So the ego part, oh my gosh, that'll be so cool. I'm an ambassador for this huge ass brand. It's everywhere. I see it all the fucking time. That'll be fucking amazing. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. And then there was the other part, yeah, but their values don't align with my values. And they've done some things in the past that I'm not really a firm believer. And it was this toss and turn type of situation. And at the end of the day, I know not everybody's in integrity with business, but this time I'm going to choose values and integrity. I really don't, it's not about my ego. It's about doing the right thing. And for some people, that may sound really stupid, like Celeste, you're a dumbass, like that's a big opportunity. But for me, it just wasn't in alignment. And I'm sharing that because sometimes we think that getting the big brand deal or getting the big following or getting all these big things is what's going to make us happy. And it truly is not. You get to a point where you're going to be able to choose what truly happiness and your values mean and the price you're paying for them too. So that inner dialogue, it was so important for us to really tune in and really start detaching our worth from our work. You have so much to give. You have so much potential within you. And it's all about being able to be persistent. I have been doing videos, like the first viral ones and things started getting publishings and all that stuff started happening in 2017 and 2017 on. That's when it all started for me. But I started doing videos in 2016. And I literally started videos, if you don't know this part of my story, on my phone. And I wouldn't post them because they weren't good enough. They weren't the quality everybody else had. And I did that shit for a whole freaking 2 years, which I was dumb about because I know my business would be at a different level if I would have started earlier. But rather than beating myself up, right? And this is what we're doing, the whole self-talk. Your self-talk is so important. Those practice videos help me learn better about boys and help me to become better at stop saying the word, which and the mumbling. Those videos help me to be able to start being more confident in how I show up on video. It taught me about lighting. It taught me I didn't need to have the perfect setting, but more I needed to focus on the value I give out. And those were learning lessons. So that was a whole year, over a year of no results for all the work I did. I wasn't posting it. I was judging myself. I wasn't doing it. A whole year went by without any results. And I wanted to share that because nobody fucking tells us that. Nobody shares their beginning story about how content came up, how they get more comfortable. And the reality that even if you do this all the time, I've been doing lives on, since 2020, like constantly every freaking week, nonstop. And whether it's on Instagram or somewhere else, or whether it's doing like a live class. And what nobody tells you is that you still get to get nervous. There are times when I'm still nervous. I still get butterflies in me. There are times when I do for local events, that was a big thing, right? Because I shared with you, I was vulnerable with you that I was scared because I don't know if it's ever happened to you, but I haven't had the greatest experience. It sucks when somebody tries to demean you. It sucks when somebody's being trying to put you down or judging you. It's in front of other people you don't even know. It sucks. I've been in those situations. And, not just locally, but also when I've done events or speaking and people like it. Some people don't. You do a live. Some people like it. Other people don't. And it's all about having that confidence within you. So as I end this episode today, I want to ask you this big ass question. And it's, why are you holding yourself back? What do you think is the worst thing that can happen? For me, it was the worst thing that could happen is I could make all these videos and nobody's going to watch them or they're not going to like them and that's it, the end. But instead of focusing on the negative of what if, I focus on the why not? Why not put out that video that you have saved in your phone? Why not have that photo that you have sitting on your phone and post it? Why not share your expertise? Why not start charging for the knowledge when people try to DM you and slide into your emails about how to do that? Why not charge for that service? Why not have a different stream of income? Why not try to reach out for your dreams and see what happens from there? having a really like reinforced self-confidence within you does not make you egotistical or a bad person. I am very confident in my own skin. I may not look, like I used to look, all like skinny and shit, but that doesn't matter. I'm still me, and I'm very confident in the human that I am, in the person that I am, in the value that I give. And you can be too. We do not have to look like somebody else out there. And sometimes we stop ourselves because maybe that person doesn't come from the same background as us. Maybe that person doesn't have the same education, doesn't have the same life experiences, doesn't have the same business, or maybe there's so many people already doing what we want to do that we're like, why us? Like, why should I even try, right? Like, why even try it? It's too late. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's never, ever, ever too late to step into anything. 2022 for me was a real big life shift year. This year really like shook me to the core, and in ways that I have been changed forever, in good and bad ways that changed my life forever. I will never be the same person I was prior to March of 2022. Like, I'll never be the same person ever again. But it's also taught me to be more confident in myself and to really believe in your own value, right? We do not need the validation of views. We do not need the validation of 1 million followers. I appreciate every human being that follows me on my Instagram. I appreciate everybody who follows me on different social medias, and I hope that I'm giving value to you in different forms. But most importantly, aside from all that stuff, and yes, it's beautiful to be able to work from home, create content, get paid for it, and all the beautiful things that I've done throughout the years, I want to tell you that I have spent hours, nights, not sleeping at night, learning how to utilize different systems and different things to be able to create online content, to be able to have an online course, email marketing, social media marketing, how to utilize Google, SEO, all these different things and components about business. Also like a SWOT analysis, how to understand better analytics. All those different things have come over nights of work that nobody knows about behind the scenes. And I'm sharing that with you today because sometimes it's going to take, and most of the time it's going to take us to do work and not see the fruits of our labor right away. Sometimes it's going to take years. Sometimes it's going to take years to be able to see it. I'm barely hitting the point where I'm starting to get paid what I've always wanted to be paid for content. And it's beautiful and I love it and I welcome it. But it has been literally years to get me to this point. It didn't start that way. I didn't start with getting paid for content, we all start somewhere. And it's so important that you get started. Don't ever stop yourself. I didn't start beauty school until I was 30 years old. I didn't start creating videos until I was much older. I decided I was going to be an educator. People made fun of me. People laughed at my podcast. And we're still here nice and strong 4 years later. And I want to appreciate you for tuning in today. I hope this episode was helpful. And remember that we all, including myself, have those thoughts inside of our mind sometimes where, well, I'm not seeing the results that I want to. I'm creating the content. I'm not seeing the money that I want to. Or, I'm getting paid by brands, but I want to get paid more. Or I want to have more clients. Or I'm doing all this stuff and I'm not seeing the fruits as fast as I want. But it's not about the fast, it's about the longevity and seeing truly what is working in our business and doing more of that. And with anything, with reaching goals and dreams and aspirations, I think it's so much more important that we realize that we're human. And this whole fucking thing of like goal setting and like in 3 months, I better make X amount of money or I better have X amount of followers. It really like sometimes, and it's okay if you're different, but sometimes it can really take away from savoring the moment and savoring how much you have grown up to this point. So don't allow that to stop you. Don't allow that to discourage you. And remember that the most important voice that you need to listen to, no matter what stage you are in your business, is to yourself, to have the confidence that all the answers lie within you. And the confidence and the validation that you're seeking has to come from within you so that you're able to do this for the long haul. You're able to pivot. You're able to innovate. Don't be scared of that. We're human. Our needs and wants and desires and who we are changes as life, continues to change and throw its curveballs. But please know that you're not alone, especially during this holiday season. I know it's a very busy time for us beauty pros. Take care of yourself. And remember, you are doing just enough today. So much love. I'll see you next week. Bye, loves.